Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another Saturday morning live stream here on the Usawa Fitness Garage Gym Review channel. If you are here and you here on purpose, then you probably know that I'm gonna be talking about budget versus expensive home gym gear equipment. Now, here on my channel, I've always preached the term that I'll be reviewing equipment for people balling on a budget. That's my catchphrase. I've been using it for 4 or 5 years now. And it's something that I just really want you guys to know that that's gonna be the basis for what you see here. I've gotten some opportunities to review some more expensive equipment from time to time, but the baseline for what you should expect from the Usawa Fitness Garage Gym Review channel is equipment for people balling on a budget, because that's what I do. So I want to make sure you guys are having a opportunity to find that kind of equipment, and also to understand why that equipment may or may not be right for you. So when you're making your purchasing decisions, you making healthy decisions and not doing anything that's going to cost you an opportunity to get something you could afford. Excuse me, y'all. You see the chair back there. We got the Flightbird 3000 back there because this is a garage gym, so my chair is a weight bench. But I was on a live stream a few weeks ago, and me and the commentator was John Gray Jr. from Garage Gym Life, and we were just talking about, he was asking me about why I prefer to talk about home gym equipment for people balling on the budget and so forth. And I just wanted to make sure that that conversation got to be elaborated on, and that's what I want to do here today, because personally, I believe that, man, probably like 90% of the people that have home gyms could be creating gyms for people balling on the budget. Now, when you got a bigger budget, there is, you may decide to get a more expensive piece because you can, and you can afford to pick up the side pieces that help build out your gym without worrying about whether or not your budget is an issue. But and I totally get that. I'm not gonna lie. If I was just had an abundance of money, instead of driving the CTA, that's the Charles T. Anderson bus, I would be in train, I'd be driving a car, right? And if I had even more money, then I'd be driving an even nicer car, most likely. I would cap out because I don't believe in spending a whole lot of money on stuff like that. But at the same time, you got money for things you get, you buy accordingly. But I know it's a large group of people out there who start building a gym, and they they looking at this more expensive stuff that you see, and they're like, oh man, I need that because this channel suggested that, and I did reviews and I see this stuff popping up all over the place. But here are some of the reasons why the budget gear may be for some of you guys and not for others. Number one is safety, right? That's number one. And when you look at some of the budget gear, especially, we're going to start off talking about racks. When you look at, I got to stretch my leg and not knock that cable out, keeping us live here. When you're looking at budget gear, safety is going to be the first area of concern, in my opinion, and making sure you get something, number one, from a reputable company, and two, something that's built correctly. And that's why you come to our channels, because we get an opportunity to review the equipment. And a lot of times you'll see things like, okay, this cage is weighted for 800 pounds maximum weight capacity. And, I always want to go well above that base number, because sometimes, companies just throw that number out there. But like the first machine that I started working with back in the day was the Fitness Reality A10 XLT Supermax Power Cage. And that cage right there, I used that with multiple people for many, many years. Okay, that was the baseline for my gym. And that cage only had an 800-pound weight capacity on it. And I was very comfortable lifting under that thing for a long time. Now, I don't typically lift very heavy. I'm only benching, 225, and that's the area where I'm comfortable. But I also know that only like 0.7% of the people in the world can lift that much. So most of you guys and gals out there are going to find a bench like this more than adequate for what you're doing. So I would say, don't feel like you necessarily have to go with a big road cage that's going to have, like, that cage right there had 14 gauge steel. And then when you start getting into more expensive cages, then you're looking at, 11, sometimes 9 gauge steel, much thicker, much more difficult to move around if you have to ever have to move it. And quite frankly, I don't really believe that a lot of people are going to need a cage of that capacity, and when they're building a home gym, because most people aren't going to be lifting ultra heavy. Some of the things when you think about a lighter cage like that is when you go to rack the weight on the cage, and if you have a lot of weight, the cage could slide a little bit and shift. But if it's weighted down with Olympic plates and so forth, that's another reason why that cage wouldn't move like that, making it a little bit more safe. But and as much as I love that cage in 2020 or whenever I got it, there I probably wouldn't get that cage in 2025. But let me just say a couple of things about that before I make that real. Number one, that cage at the time was going for like $500 something. Now they have actually made that price a lot better in 2025, because here, when I look, I'm gonna add this real quick. When I look at it today, that cage is 368, and it includes the the lat pull down attachment, and back in the day it was like 500. And I think that's a phenomenal price. But I also feel like when you're looking at, and I think a lot of you guys, starting off, if you starting off and this your first cage is small, and I loved it. Never had a problem with that cage. And I'm assuming that it's along the same lines today as it was before. But as you can see, it has that 800 maximum pound weight capacity. Now, but here's the thing, that I don't see a whole lot of other stuff coming from them right now. And if I scroll down here right now, y'all know I mess with RitFit. So, but I see RitFit, Major Ludi, I don't see Nicola on here. But if I click this RitFit cage, I know, number one, they calling this a 1,000 weight capacity cage, but I also know that they're making a ton of different gear at RitFit. And that gives me a feeling that I know that the product development is going to be a little bit higher. And I feel the same way for Makolo. Because, and these are budget brands that I'm using, that, and I've used in here. And that's why I'm showing you these. Here's the Mikolo cage with a 1,200 pound weight capacity, and it's $329. And you can just look at it and see that it's built a little bit differently. It looks like, I think that's also a 2x2 inch cage, but you just see that it is built a little bit better, and those type of things are why I tend to believe that you can get a great cage today and not have to really worry about spending so much money when you're at the front end of learning how to, build out your home garage gym. Make sure, Dwayne, what's up, my guy? Thank you for coming, man. Thank you for checking out the video, man. I'm just in here talking about budget gear versus expensive gear, and kind of breaking down some of the reasons why I feel like, people could tend to lean towards some of this balling on a budget type gear that I often talk about, opposed to going crazy and getting something like really expensive. If it fits your budget, that's different. But in 2025, they really are so many companies, even the bigger companies, that are creating space for equipment that is much less expensive than you used to find. I mean, years ago, even for like a rack like I showed you before in that fitness reality, those would have cost you $2,000-$3,000. You couldn't get a $500 rack. And I see larger companies starting to make these cages at a better price. So I just don't want y'all to jump out there and feel like you have to buy the most expensive cage, because I promise you, if you start building a home gym, it's like tattoos and you're going to start adding more pieces of equipment. And when you think about buying something like a, let me just see, let's go back. Let me just go back to that other stage real quick. And let's just look at Rogue, for instance. Rogue Fitness. And let's just look and see how much they're charging. Let's make sure all right, y'all, my fault. I messed something up. Are y'all still there? I hope so. I clicked the wrong button. Let me see if I can get everybody back real quick. Dwayne, if you still here, hit me up, man. Let me know you still here. Because I hit the wrong button. You know, I'm over here trying to mess with some equipment I don't know ordinarily use, and it screwed up my site. So, hey, if anybody is in here, do me a favor and say something in the comments. Okay, bet. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I hit the wrong button, man. I'm over here tweaking, messing something up. It asked me to. It's like, you sure you want to do that? And I hit the button. So let me go over here and pull up Rogue Fitness. And I'm just going to just look at some prices of some of their equipment so I can show you guys some of the price differences that you're going to find. Obviously, this stuff is much, thicker, well-built quality, but I just want y'all to see what it looks like when you're looking at some of this. Okay, let's share this real quick. So here, if you look at Rogue Fitness, you see that this rack is going to hit you for just that rack. Okay, none of the other stuff that you saw before, when it's going to hit you for $1,100. Now, when you start adding some of the accessories, it's going to just really start jumping up that price a lot. You see how, but you do have many more options, but you have to start adding all this stuff. You see how I'm, clicking through these different options, and none of this is including the lat pull down attachment. We already at $1,500. Okay. I start, and so I just feel like at that price level, you could easily start adding in a whole leg, leg press, or you could add in a adductor machine. You could add in your weight bench. You could add in we still got to get plates. And now today, you're starting to need that coffee, my man. That's why I screwed up in the first place, dog. Operating without that caffeine. I got the Michigan cup out here because I'm ready for some NCAA football, but that's just water. But so when you start talking about, adding some of these other pieces of equipment to your home gym, the price is just going to skyrocket up really quick. And if you're starting off with a base level $1,100 to $1,500 cage, and then you start adding on just to build that cage out, those accessories on Rogue are going to be so much more expensive than some of these other companies that you could get the accessories on. And then you can wind up getting yourself a full gym setup without having to feel like you're breaking your budget or sacrificing areas that you don't really want to sacrifice. So, I mean, I don't know if y'all got any comments on that, let me know. But I do feel like it's an opportunity. There's opportunities out there to build a phenomenal gym without breaking the bank. Now, when I talked about treadmills, when we talk about cardio gear, and you know, a treadmill is something I definitely would never spend a ton of money on. Number one, I feel like over lifetime, the more expensive that piece is, the more the more difficult. Obviously, you're going to get it fixed, but then when you know, sometimes I feel like the amount of money that it costs to get it fixed may end up putting you in a position where if you were working with a more budget friendly piece, you might even be able to just get another one. All right, that's real talk, because they, to bring out these technicians and things, it's a lot of money when you bring out these people to repair things. And now you got the computer aspect, which obviously adds another level of complexity when we start to think about how to fix them. But in addition to that, treadmills, and sadly enough, all of this home gym equipment there's always opportunity that you're not going to use it. I'm just being real. I go on to Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, Craigslist, and various other places where you can sell your, previously bought equipment, and you see treadmills just rampant all over the place. Because, a lot of times people they get excited, they start working out, they start feeling like, oh man, I'm gonna start getting it in. I'm gonna lose this weight and so forth, and especially treadmill, because that's more likely to be a weight loss purchase. And then they'll wind up using them. And if you go spend all this money on one of these really fancy $2,000-$3,000 treadmills and you don't use it, the return on investment is going to be so low, because so many people have those up for sale. And so when you buy something in the budget, balling on the budget range, you're going to be able to sell that fairly cheaply, and you're still going to be able to sell it at a higher cost, closer to what you bought it for than the other machine, simply because that's the amount people really want to pay. So it's something to think about. And so, like I said, I would never purchase a very expensive treadmill, because I just don't see the long-term value and the difference. If you're very tall, you might have to, because a lot of times the treadmill footprint is smaller when you talk about a less expensive treadmill. But at the same time, it's definitely something that you could find out there at the budget, balling on a budget price. That's my mama, and I tell her that I never not answer the phone, but I got to do it this time because I'm live. I'm gonna call her back in a minute when we get done. Mystical, what's up, dog? Man, thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it. Corporate your workouts. Yeah. And so, and then there's also a lot of options. I just want like a treadmill that an incline that I could jog on. And that's going to do it for a lot of people. And you can find those for between $300 and $500 all over Amazon or anywhere else. I'll try to put a link in the description of this video after I finish, where I put a bunch of different options for y'all who never been here or haven't seen my videos and you looking for something. Put it on speaker. I should have put it on speaker. I thought about it. I promise you, I thought about it, man. See, that's why I need mugs here that be here all the time, man. You had Dwayne, I should have put it on speaker, man. It's my mama, man. She 83 years old now. And man, I'm so happy to still have her. I know some of you may not have, these people in your life, but it's a blessing to still have her. And every time I think about her and my dad still being here at this age, I'm 55, I'm just super grateful. And I hope I get to share a whole lot more time with them. But we can't never guarantee it. So I'm going out there to see both of my parents tomorrow, spend some time with them. Don't forget to spend time with your family, y'all. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know, man. I just feel like, another thing, treadmill is just not there. And I feel like so many companies, like, here, y'all know I'm big on, Mikolo and Rip Fit, and I've done the Fitness Reality and Sunny Health and Fitness and Fire Fitness. All of those companies are in the base, kind of like the less expensive categories, but the stuff that they're doing is really starting to compete with some of these bigger brands. Both, and I'm talking about Mikolo and Rip Fit because that's who I got. But there's plenty. Major Ludi, Major Fitness is another one. I just haven't started. I haven't received anything from them yet. But when this year and this fall, I'm really starting to get my channel. I feel like I got a little lazy for a while, and I apologize for that. But I just got so busy with my training business, and I was just like, I was busy, so I really wasn't putting the same amount of energy into my channel that I feel like I need to. But I'm definitely on that right now, and I really want to try to keep this thing moving. So everybody that stuck with me over the last year or so, when my channel may have not seemed as active as it has been, I used to post like two videos a week. I'm gonna try to get down to up to one every week, so I get y'all a review each week. So stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the alert, do all that good stuff so you can check out that future content when I get it coming out to y'all. But I feel like I'm talking about those brands because I use them so much, and I'm gonna be doing a lot with HVO also, adding a lot more leg equipment in here because I know that's something that a lot of people want to see. And so I've been trying to reach out to them, and I have received the adductor abductor machine that I'm gonna be dropping a video for in about a week and a half. So stay tuned for that. But let's talk about some questions that y'all might have. All right, do a little bit of Q&A up in this piece. And y'all let me know. Number one, is there a brand that y'all been looking at or a machine that y'all been looking at that you feel like you want to hear more about? Or do you want to hear more about any of the stuff that I got in here right now? Over here, I got the new Mikolo M4 2.0 Elite with the weight stacks. And then over here, I've got the Mikolo Anubis half rack. And I've, reviewed a lot more pieces than that. So if you got questions about any of them, let me know. And I'll answer whatever I can. I got those videos. I got reviews coming out on those really soon. And I also have, when are the, that is a great question. Let me talk to you guys about that. I wish I had it up. Let me think. Do I have that? I deleted that media. I'm an idiot. I deleted that. Wait, let me just make sure I deleted all of it. Yeah, I did. So what Dwayne is talking about is the Rit Fit M1 2.0 with the jammer arms. And you could check out, I got a live stream on it, and you could check that live stream out. And I wonder if I could do that. All right, hold up. Everybody stick with me. I'm going to try to show you guys what he's talking about because I think I can. Let me go to YouTube. Now, this might be kind of crazy because I'm going to be taking up a lot of bandwidth, but hey, until we know that we can't do it, we're going to try it, right? I just feel like that's how it is. Let's go look in here at live streams. And I think I have some of that equipment, some of that. All right, I'm going to turn this down. And I'm going to try to. So what Dwayne is referring to is this piece right here. Let me share this with you guys. Yeah. All right. So you guys see this here. This is the machine he's referring to, and this is the Rit Fit with the jammer arms, and that piece is dope. Let me and it's one of those situations where let me know if y'all make sure y'all can hear me. Hopefully y'all can hear me okay. But it's in prototype right now, so it isn't completely finished. when they hear some of the other stuff they had about Red Fit that week, I'm going to see if I can fast forward to a clip of me actually using it. Because I was getting it in. I was working with that machine a lot. I worked out with it for about 3 hours. It was a long workout. My daughter was like, I don't know how you doing this at your age, Dad. Nah, I don't. I don't have video of me actually using it, unfortunately. But is dope. And I think, it should be coming out. Dwayne, to get back to your question, I talked to Ritfit about that. They said it was prototype. They were telling me August initially. And I hope that, I know we're past that right now because we only got a few days left. But man, it was so dope, y'all. You could add the way that what I really liked about it is that you could actually clip the jammer arms into your weight stacks, so you didn't even have to put weights on the side of the weight of the jammer arms in order to use it. And I mean, I worked out under it really hard. I wish I still had the clips in here. I didn't think to keep them in here, but that's a piece that is high on my list of things to get into this gym, because the last time I had jammer arms, it was on the Mikolo M5P P5R, which I think Mystical has. Mystical, are you still here, dog? If so, let me know in the comments if that's what you have, because I feel like that's what you got, but I can't quite remember. And they are massive and they dope and they perfect. They just they did a size you would expect. And but that was the last rack that I had the jammer arms on, and we used them so much in here. What Mystical, tell me what rack? Don't you have a 3x3 rack with jammer arms? I thought you did. I don't know why I think I'm there. Maybe I'm wrong. But I love that rack because like I said, it got those jammer arms, and it's one of those things that we use a lot in here. I want to get back to it the minute. I don't know why I thought you had that. I'm tweaking. But it's one of those racks that it's one of those pieces that I really want to, Dwayne. And as soon as Ritfit gets it, I'm going to really, try to get in, make sure they send it out to me. I'm pretty sure I got a pretty good relationship with them. I should be able to get it, quickly. So we'll try. I have a handy gym and do sprints. I can't wait till I can sprint again. My knee is still jacked up, but I want to be able to run. I'm going to be seeing a therapist. I've done all the physical strength training I think I could do, and I need to, move it to get some PT work now. But anyway, I don't know exactly when it's coming. Hopefully soon. They had a lot of stuff that was out there prototype. They have Ritfit. Speaking of Ritfit, they have a leg extension, knee extension, whichever you want to call it, and leg curl machine that's off the charts that I'm really looking for. And Mikolo, obviously y'all know I've been a brand ambassador for them, and I'm a strong. We got a very strong relationship. I like these companies like that because they're growing, and they doing so many different innovative things to try to, pursue people in the home gym sector, really trying to to impress us, to make us understand that they're in it the same way these bigger companies are in it. And I think we're going to see a lot more on the budget level coming up in the next few months, especially with Black Friday, Christmas, and so forth being here. And if it don't get here by then, I'm sure it'll be here for the first quarter of 2026. Anybody got any other questions? Let me know. We're in the QA section of this live stream. And so y'all know, with these live streams, I'm back to doing these Saturday morning live streams. You're going to see less. I know I've been really cranking a ton of these out lately, but I'm going to be doing less of these and, during the week, and more of the ones on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Central, where we discuss different things that centered around what we do here, talking about personal training and review training and being mentally, physically, and spiritually, sharp and in tune and happy. So make sure y'all get ready and mark that on your calendars. Know that I'll be here every morning at 10 a.m. before football season starts, before the football game start rather. These companies not trying to rip us off. Here's the thing. Exactly. It's like, I think they understand that there's, I think that a lot of these companies, and here's the thing. Let me back up. Sometimes I jump around a little bit just to prove to you that this budget level gym equipment is ginormous. Mystical, you already know. I'm gonna be out of here before 11 o'clock, so I can tune into that Texas Ohio State game. But here, peep this to prove to you how much this budget equipment is impacting the larger scale of home gym, garage gym material. Look at Coop. Coop from Garage Gym Reviews started a separate channel dedicated to budget equipment. Now, if that dude is the biggest guy in home gym equipment and he got 600,000 subscribers or whatever, and he started a whole another channel so that he could promote the kind of equipment that you've been seeing me promote here for the last few years and my balling on the budget. Remember, y'all, this ain't new to me. If you look at, you remember my original, and I'm going back to it too. If you guys remember my original, banner, it had it right there in it, right? For those balling on the budget. That's my original banner. I rocked with that for years. And then I kind of shifted a little bit because I wanted to make sure people understood that those 3 markings are about around the VF are dedicated to mental, physical, and spiritual balance. And so I switched it up. But I been doing budget equipment from day one. And so, but you see Coop doing it, and I love Coop. I'm just saying, like, you see that it's become everybody starting to understand, like, wait, why am I paying $3,000-$4,000 for this rack when I could be paying, $1,000, and I said, talking about, 3x3 inch power racks and, with 12 gauge steel or one of these Smith machines. And it's like, it just don't make that much sense. And, a lot of times you're going to see people like, oh, you need this one because it can handle this amount of weight. And they throwing these mugs off of garages, rooftops. They dropping enormous weight that they not lifting, dropping onto them, but yet taking a couple people and dropping onto them. And that just shows you how few people can actually lift that weight. For those people that need that kind of weight, okay, yeah, sure, go get you that, that other rack. But the truth of the matter is not that many humans in the world that need it. And I challenge most people that watch this channel to tell me that they different, because they just not out there. People just not doing that. What are your thoughts on the new rotational pulley arms? Coop got a budget channel after meeting you at home, Jim Con. Yeah, you know what? He actually already had it. But I love that he took that time. He took that time to actually speak to me and do that hilarious video. If y'all haven't seen that, man, I was loving it. People was texting me like, man, dog, Coop put you on Home Gym Con and you the star of the show, man, because your personality, you is like, the fun one. And y'all know, like, I'm real, man. Like, I do a lot of these reviews and everything, but I'm gonna ask you a question too in a minute, Dwayne. But I keep it real. I'm here having fun. I'm trying to like show y'all what I can show y'all. I'm trying to be like just me and hope that y'all use my links and stuff like that. But if you don't, I ain't like mad about it or anything like that. I'm just trying to, make people feel like they could trust what I'm doing. But Thanks, Walt. I appreciate that, man, dog. I appreciate that. I had a good time. Those rotational pulley arms, I like them. I like them a lot, just because it's going to they're going to allow you a lot more versatility than like, and they got the ones now that extend way up, and it just going to allow you to get a lot of more versatility out of your pulleys, because you could use them from so many different angles and you don't have to be locked in. I didn't like when they used to be just stuck like that, and I do really like the fact that they're not fixed anymore. That's it. But it's a preference, I guess, for different people. You know what I mean? But no, I'm feeling them so far. I'm feeling them a lot. Um, but yeah, man, I want to try to get you guys a lot worried about durability. Yeah, we're gonna have to find out, right? Without being able to, yeah, we're gonna find out, right? We're gonna find out. Durability is always gonna be a big deal. I trust that some of these bigger companies are going to create, these reputable companies. That's why I talked about earlier. I said, when you look at equipment on a budget, I wouldn't really lean towards these companies that only have a couple of products on their websites or on Amazon, because the product development may not be the same. All that stuff we saw at RitFit, they had a gang of stuff. It looked amazing, and it ain't even out. And I've seen it for 3 or 4 months now, and I personally have seen it for longer than that, but it's not released because they still working on it. And I appreciate that. But I trust that most of these companies that we're talking about, when we see, a lot of reviews being done on their equipment, that you're going to find that we're not going to have to worry about the durability as much. But it is something to be concerned with. Here, I try to keep this stuff as long as possible. I don't never do a review on something. I never get a piece of equipment, do a review after like 2 or 3 days, a week, and then put the review up. And one of the things I'm really proud of is that I tend to have 15, 20, 30 people in every video, because we using this stuff with multiple people. If I have a piece in here, and I've never had a cage in here for less than months. But if you see me put a video up, and I've been reviewing it, you might see it might have like 6, 7 people a day on it, minimum, Monday through Friday. By the time I put that video up, between me and everybody else that's been able to use it, we looking at, 50, we looking at sometimes 30 to 40 hours a week put on that piece of equipment. And then you multiply that by the 5 or 6 to 8, 10 weeks that I had it, that it's going to be a lot more durable in your gym, because how many people you seen use it in mine? You feel me? Y'all feel me on that? You know what I'm saying? This not a channel where I just stand up in front of a piece of equipment and be like, hey, here's what I think about it. You getting the collective opinions of everybody you see in this, using this equipment. And trust me when I tell you that my clients want to tell you whether or not want to tell me to tell you about the things they don't like on it, because they asking me, are you going to tell them about that? Yeah, I'm going to tell them, fool. You just seen that, it wasn't good. I ain't going to hide that from them, so I take a lot of pride in that, to be honest with you. And I hope y'all recognize the value in that. But if you do, let me know by hitting the like sign. Man, when I was down there at RitFit's event, I learned something about myself and what I do as a content creator. And I'm just going to just tell y'all this real quick, because sometimes I just like to talk to y'all. And if y'all got questions about what the topic, inexpensive versus expensive fitness equipment, let me know. But one thing I learned about me, just sharing that little laugh with y'all just there, is that I'm a content creator. And what I saw at RitFit, and this isn't a knock on them because I learned a lot, is that those people are influencers, and they was out there making money because they were focusing a lot. It was a lot of, they was live and everything. And they were, doing TikTok lives where they were like, all right, in 5 minutes, I'm going to have a deal on this piece of equipment. So stay tuned. If you are thinking about buying this piece of equipment, put it into the cart right now so that you can support the channel, this, that, and the other. I don't get out like that. But what I did notice is that Ripfit Cameras was following me all over the place that day. My cameraman, my daughter who was running camera for me was like, man, I got this camera in the shot because they really like. They must really like that you crazy, because I was out there, I'm out there dancing, I'm out there working out, I'm not just standing by a piece of equipment, because my thing, why I worked out so much while I was out there is because I was trying to test the equipment, right? I didn't have those jammer arms. And what I learned about those jammer arms in the prototype state is that if I tried to put weight plates onto them, the plate holders were too thin. So even when I put the clamps on, they were falling off. When other influencers started using them later in the day, they wound up putting tape on them. I was going all out to learn the equipment because I wanted to be able to give you guys some true a review on what I was seeing in there. And then I wanted to be able to tell Ripfit what I didn't think was good or what I thought was great, because when I was at home GymCon, I was working for Mikolo and I didn't get an opportunity to use the equipment. So I am a content creator because I like to create content, and I'm less of an influencer because I like to talk about different things and jump out of I like to jump into more of a community type of a talk when we talking or I'm doing my videos. But that's just something I want to share about y'all because I was learning. But I wasn't mad at the people because they weren't doing some of the things. It was a 3-day event. I was going crazy for 2 days. I'm off in the food truck doing this type of stuff. I'm riding a little car, and I didn't see anybody doing these things Friday and Saturday. But then when I left on Sunday, I'm watching Ripfit videos, and I see a lot of these content creators doing some of the stuff that I was doing the previous 2 days because, they were more comfortable seeing what I did, and they wanted to kind of like, hey, that was kind of smart. What I'm learning is I could try to use some of these things that they were doing as influencers to help me get new equipment in here when people aren't giving it to me by using the affiliate link money that I get from this stuff. So just sharing that with y'all. Yeah, and that's right. Well, and I honestly do, like, I don't even, if y'all can see the little graveyard room that I have back there, where a lot of times if I don't like the piece of equipment, I don't even do the review because I don't really want to waste y'all time watching something that I'm not going to suggest you buy. And number two, I'm not going to waste my time editing. I told y'all how busy I was at a creative situation where I couldn't even do as much as I wanted to on this channel. I don't want to waste time doing a video edit because it takes me a lot of time because I put all these video clips into all my reviews, and I'm not just sitting up there talking in front of the machine, which would take me a lot less time. If y'all rather I do that, let me know, because I could do that more often and get more videos out there showing you the equipment that I won't suggest you buy, in order for you just to know that there's something that out there that I've reviewed and I didn't like. I can't do that. So y'all let me know if that's something you want to see. But yeah, overall, man, I am just a big fan of the budget equipment right now because it's just, right away, okay, this is, 14 gauge steel, it's 12 gauge steel. You know about the weight capacity. You can gauge on by that. And sometime, if something is bad, let me know. Okay, I'm gonna start doing those. Like I said, and what I'll do with those videos is I'll just make them kind of like less, I just kind of get in there and say, hey, here are the good. It's always gonna be pros and cons, but I won't do it as a big video like I do normally, where I take and put as much my creativity into it. And that's not, I appreciate that. I want that kind of feedback. That's why I'm here. All right. That is exactly why I'm here. I want that feedback. And like I said, I can't focus on getting more of that content out to y'all immediately. But yeah, so it's been a good ride, man. I appreciate y'all being here, man. I hope y'all like the content that I'm putting out there still. And if you guys have any suggestions, again, I want to ask if there's a piece of, Dwayne spoke about that Ripfit 2x2 M1 2.0 cage with the jammer arms. But if you see something out there that you're interested in me reviewing and trying to get, email me at info@usawafitness.com. That's info, info at usawafitness, usawafitness.com. And let me know about that piece of equipment. Send me a link and be a part of the community, man. Be a part of the channel. All right. Like, that's an opportunity for y'all to help, other people out there that's looking for equipment to understand more what people looking from a consumer point. And I would love to try to get some of that equipment in and proudly be able to say that, Dwayne Washington sent me a text and email back in August 30th, 2025 about this piece of equipment. And I was lucky enough to get it in the gym and talk about it for a little bit. So I'm totally down for doing that. So please let me know if you come up with something that you want to hear about in the comments, and I'll reach down there and try to get it. All right. So with that being said, we got about 14 minutes to game time. Before y'all go, if you're a college football fan, tell me who your squad is. Do not say Ohio State. Otherwise, I'm going to just have to cut the live stream off and whatever. Nah, and tell y'all. Well, actually, what's going to happen, I'm going to tell you how much I want you to lose today. But, I'm a Michigan fan, so what you expect? Hopefully y'all drink, man. Hydrate. I drink about 6 of these every day, and I'm big. Okay, I like it, man. Walt, you went there? Is that Oklahoma State or is that Ohio State? Walt he went straight there. I hope that ain't Ohio State. Walt, I thought you was a good guy, man. Is that Oregon State? Tell me, you need to spell that out, dog. I need the full definition of what that OSU is. Okay. All right, now we talking. Hey, we got y'all next week too. Yeah, we get week 2, baby. We're gonna be playing y'all next week. So I'm definitely going live. I'm gonna have all my Michigan gear on for that game, and we talk to you. Hopefully you'll be able to make it again. But yeah, I'm excited, man. Football season is finally here, and we about to get to enjoy, the wait between last football season. College football is my favorite sport of the year. So yeah, I think that's about it, man. Anybody got any questions or anything? Before I go, because I'm gonna sign out here, go into the crib, get ready for the game, maybe come out here and watch the game while get a little bit of a workout in at the same time. All right, cool. I'm gonna see you next week at 10 a.m. Well, all right. Hey, well, look, man, as always, I appreciate y'all watching the video. I want y'all to make sure y'all stay healthy, mentally, physically, spiritually healthy, and just, enjoy this life. And, keep coming to check me out, because I appreciate being able to talk to y'all like this in person. So until next time, stay blessed, stay motivated, and stay fit. Love and peace, everybody. Ow. Take care, y'all.